The pandemic has taken an incredible toll, and throughout it all, people have continued to show up for work. But now, after a year of immense daily stress for managers and employees, we're starting to see some issues that are flaring up and causing suffering in organizations. The first is erosion of trust. We had to move really quickly to this work from home situation, and while many of us do not miss our commutes, we are actually missing those in-person cues that we get from being in the same place with someone else. And in that, when I'm in contact with someone else, I can begin to understand more of the context of what's going on, and that really helps to build trust. And Stephen Covey has a book called The Speed of Trust, and he tells us that when trust goes down, speed goes down and cost goes up. So lack of trust costs organizations money. The second trend that we're seeing is disengagement among employees. And a recent study that I saw that when employee engagement goes down, there's higher absenteeism, there's lower productivity, and there's lower profitability. And this was so interesting to me, disengaged employees cost the organization 34% of their salary. 1/3 of what you pay to a disengaged employee goes out the window. The third trend that I've been looking at is psychological safety. Amy Edmondson from Harvard is the one who coined this phrase, and psychological safety is like a climate in a team where I feel like I can bring my best self to this organization, even if that means that I might ask silly questions, I might make mistakes, but I'm able to take risks. And in the environment today, people are feeling much more wary about the security of their jobs and whether or not they're able to take risks. We can use the principles of authentic communication to restore trust, to engage employees, and to foster psychological safety. The three principles of authentic communication are be, listen, and act. Be is all about self-awareness. It's about a sense of presence. It's about knowing who I am, and that requires a degree of self-observation. This is key for communication and for leadership, for creating trust and psychological safety, and for helping employees to become more engaged in their work. The second principle is listen. Listen is the silver bullet for all communication. It is the way that we turn our attention to the other. We engage with each other. We heal relationships with listening, and we can restore trust. We can foster psychological safety, and we can engage employees by listening to them. It takes curiosity, humility, intention, and focus. And it is simple, but it is not easy. We can help with working the authentic communication principle of listen. The third principle of authentic communication is act. In an authentic communication, we believe that all communication is taking action, taking mindful action that builds off of the self-awareness that we develop when we practice the principle be. It builds on the relationships that we cultivate when we work with the principle of listen. When we take mindful action in our communication, we are clearer, we're more consistent, and we establish strong two-way communication that allows us to put boundaries that help with psychological safety, that help us to understand the distinctions around trust, and help us to make agreements so that we can really engage our employees. So when we look at these three areas, trust, employee engagement, and psychological safety, they all have one thing in common. They fall apart when relationships fall apart. And authentic communication is all about interpersonal communication that restores and improves relationships. Why? Every organization, every team, every group, every family is made up of human beings who are in relationship with each other. And the quality of our communication informs the quality of those relationships. So when we have better and ideally authentic communication, we have better relationships, and that translates into better outcomes. More trust, more employee engagement, and more psychological safety. So here's the zinger about authentic communication. Authentic communication is different from other professional development programs that you may have seen come across your desk or you may have even experienced. And the reason is that we believe that communication is an act of love. Now, I know the L word might make you freak out a little bit, and I have been advised not to even mention it, but I'm going bold here because I think we need this in this time. Authentic communication can help us to address these issues that are really flaring right now, but let's face it, they're endemic in our work systems. We can make work better. We can make work feel more meaningful and more joyful, and authentic communication can help.